What's going on YouTube? Totech here, and today we're going to be talking about the iPad 3, our predictions for it, and what we think basically is what is going to involve.
Now you may be thinking, hello, the iPhone 5 is coming, and you may think that we're providing this information way in advance, but we thought that we might give you some very early predictions, and obviously we haven't heard any rumors, but actually earlier in the year, we did hear some rumors about an iPad HD Pro that was actually supposed to be, rumored to be released by the end of this year. But when do you think, when are we looking for an iPad 3 to be released?
Lots of people were saying, about this iPad HD for it to be released by December or early January of next year. But that's, not going to happen, highly unlikely to happen because of the iPhone 5, of the latest rumors that's being released. You could check out other videos about that.
Looking at what we expect, really, we don't want any change, really. Not much of a change in design in the iPad 3. The iPad 2, which we saw released earlier this year, had a very nice design, and it was very light and thin. Yeah. There's really the internals and the camera and such things that we really hoped to see a change in. So why don't you continue on that?
Yeah, well, the body, like you said, the body of the actual iPad 2 was great. It was thin, light, easily, can carry it around easily. So it's just the perfect design for it. So we want minimum change in the design would be great. Now, the other thing that we would like to see in this iPad 3 would be a camera flash.
Yes.
It was just as the iPhone 4 was the first iPhone, to carry the camera flash.
After many years.
Yeah, exactly, after many years, and it was a very big step, and it's a very important feature for a device that holds a camera. So a camera flash would be very, very good. It would be great, and would be a very big step for Apple.
Yeah. So obviously every year when Apple releases a new long-awaited device, they always come up with a new type of processor. So the iPhone 5, which we're hoping to see with the A5 processor, similar to the iPad 2, the current iPad 2. With the upgrade of the iPad 3, we may see something known as the A6 processor. That could be upgraded up to 1.8 gigahertz, which is similar to the netbooks that we saw in the past 2 years on the consumer market. That will probably run together with an enhanced version of iOS 5. And as I was talking to my colleague prior to this video, that we may actually see it integrate a bit better with Lion OS X, which was released just 2 months ago. Actually, just over 2 months. For the front-facing camera, it may be a 3-megapixel camera, and possibly from the back, it'll be an 8 to 10 megapixel. Probably will actually go together with the iPhone 5's camera or 4S camera when it's actually released in the next 2 weeks.
Definitely, the camera is a very important thing for this iDevice to hold, especially the iPad, because it has the photo booth. And with the new effects and all of that, of course, we can expect new effects as there was in the OS X Lion, the photo booth in OS X Lion. So an 8 megapixel, 10 megapixel camera for the back would be great. Very high resolution. It'd be the perfect thing.
And going along with that, we might even see an update. The current supposedly 720p HD recording the iPad doesn't actually seem like it's that much.
Not at all, it does. No.
Obviously, the CMOS sensor is not what it actually is. What we expect.
We expect it, exactly.
So we might see an update in that from 720 to a 1080p. But we might be talking a bit too much in the future. Maybe iPad 4 Plus, but possibly not 1080p in the iPad.
Of course,
3.
with Apple's technology, nothing is
impossible. Nothing's impossible. I'm
but
sure they've got this technology a long time ago.
Exactly, but it's just a matter of somebody coming up with the idea to introduce it into their new iDevices. Now, moving on to our next prediction, 128 flash storage. What do you think about that?
Well, somebody as a blogger or a photographer or a videographer who might need to upload a lot of his content onto another form of storage or something would be very useful. When you connect it with a camera connection kit and just copy everything to your iPad. You might edit it and upload it to YouTube while you're on the go, and then save it for later when you come back home to your main hub or your work or whatever you work as. So 128 gigabytes of flash storage, which is quite a lot, to be very useful to somebody with a more professional view towards the job.
Especially with the everyday development of the applications that all the iDevices hold, 128 flash storage would be great. Especially now we've got GarageBand and iMovie on the iPad. It's very good because, as you said, photographers and videographers would be very, very useful to them. But not only to them, to all the iPad users, it would be a very, very good thing. These were top text predictions on the iPad 3. Hopefully the prices would be the same as the previous versions of the iPad, but possibly new features could cause an increase in price. This has been Top Tech on the first predictions of the iPad 3. So, as we said, we have heard nothing about the A6 processor yet, but of course, as the iPad 2 held the A5 processor, that was completely new. No other device had held it yet, and of course, we're hoping for the iPhone 5 to carry the A5 processor. So the A6 processor would be.
You said A6.
A6.
You said A6 twice.
Can we carry on?
Blooper.
Can we carry on?
Yeah, go. So, then,
No, we're not going to
okay.
go.
No.
Okay, laugh. No, seriously, don't laugh.